I first got into unicycling because a buddy of mine just picked one up, just hopped around, rode forwards, tried to ride backwards. I just thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was impressive, and a couple more of my friends decided to learn it too.
When I was in 6th grade, I saw it on YouTube, some guys doing tricks on the unicycle, which was definitely something I've never seen before, so I decided to buy one for my 12th birthday, and I've been riding ever since.
Here I am, different school now, 3 years after I started learning tricks, and Eli goes here too, and it's just total coincidence.
There aren't many unicyclists around here. I think in Pennsylvania, it's very small, like 6 or 7 of us total. But in Lancaster County, there's 3 of us, so like roughly half.
What's really awesome about unicycling is even if you can't ride and you're just learning and you get a couple of revs, people think that's so impressive. With like a BMX bike or a skateboard, you do a kickflip and people are like, so what? You do a 360 or a bar spin, it's like, yeah, everybody can do that. But just getting on a unicycle is like a feat in and of itself, and it's so unique and just cool. People appreciate it. It's
Not very competitive in the sense that everyone wants everyone to do well. Everyone cheers for each other when we're competing. It's not a hostile environment at all.
I didn't land 53 twists. Yes, you did. No, I didn't.
I'm about as professional as I can get with the kind of unicycling I do because I don't want to be a performer, but I do get all my parts paid for and my competitions, so that's kind of professional within the sport. I have like 4 sponsors that pay for all my stuff.
I just got sponsored last April by Chris Holm Unicycles, and this year at Nationals, I took 4th place in Flatland.
This summer, I competed at the National Championship again, and I competed at the World Championship in Montreal in Canada. I actually won the National Championship, which I won also in 2010, and then I took 5th at the World Championships in Flatland, and I got 9th in street.
Flatland pretty much has the least amount of rules as any other discipline. Anything you can do on flat ground, so no obstacles, nothing, anything goes really. The criteria is consistency and flow, difficulty, and variety. And then there's a couple points used mainly for a tiebreaker for the final trick.
Flatland competitions are, you go head to head against other people in battles, they're called. So it's like super intense, awesome to watch. We had a great crowd. I was really happy, I was like elated. That's my best competitive performance, I think. And the environment was really awesome. There was a big crowd. We competed until really late at night, so it was like, there were big lights set up that we were competing, not really under, but they were shining on us, and the judges, there's like a judging panel that we rode in front of.
This summer was my first Unicon, and when I went there, I had the privilege of judging Flatland for something like 14 or 16 hours. It was pretty grueling, but it was definitely an awesome experience, and you know, I get to see the world's best compete.
There are days where I feel like I could have done even better in that competition, and there are days where I feel like I wouldn't even place in like the top 10 or whatever, because it is a pretty big competition now. It didn't used to be as big, but it is cool to feel like you're in the top 5 in the world at something, and I guess that's what it is. I mean, I don't know. According to that competition, yeah. But it's the day of the competition.
You obviously have to play on your own creativity and come up with something new and that's interesting for other people. Just like how unicycling started. It started with one, maybe a handful of guys just doing tricks that they thought would look cool. And they made videos, people saw them, and it just became viral from there. It's spreading and getting bigger and bigger all the time. A freewheel unicycle it's like a unicycle with the rear wheel of a bike. So you can pedal forwards, but when you pedal backwards, it doesn't halt the wheel like a normal unicycle would. It just, when you stop pedaling, you just keep coasting forwards. There's a bunch of guys that have been doing it for a while. Only one guy really does it seriously, and he just kind of goes down trails and stuff like that. Nobody's really taken the time to invent tricks. And a lot of people have been talking about inventing tricks, but you know, it's kind of hard to acquire the right hub for it to build one. We plan on taking basic unicycle tricks like just twisting your body 180, or maybe even spinning it 360 degrees underneath you, and just taking it to the freewheel. It's gonna have a lot of challenges and it's gonna be extra hard, but I feel like it'll look cool once it's finally done and all the hard work's put in, and it'll catch on, potentially. I don't really think there are any limitations for freewheel unicycling. I mean, you can ride backwards, you just gotta slowly backpedal like a cassette hub on a BMX bike. You can spin it underneath you, you might have to lean forward so that you don't just like fall backwards instantly. People might have to ride with brakes. Pretty much, it seems like the possibilities are just as much as a regular unicycle, in fact more, because on a freewheel unicycle, you can, pick up speed by going downhill. You might even be able to pump. You might even be able to catch air off a ramp, something you can't do on like a fixie unicycle. They always are adding on, all kinds of disciplines, and there's a bunch more lesser known disciplines like X-style and standard skills and slow race, stuff like that. People are always adding things, and sometimes they just start as workshops where you don't get a medal or any kind of title, but then they catch on. They become sanctioned by the International Unicycling Federation, and then they just become a normal event just like anything else.
I used to go down the stairs just like that. I used to run and jump. And then the non-carpeted ones, I would just put a pillow underneath me and then a blanket and pull up on it like a sled.
The unicycling community is pretty awesome, not gonna lie. I think it cultivates a competitive environment in a way because no one's like so nervous to compete that they're going to lose or something. It's not really like that.
The biggest part about unicycling, not even the riding, is the social aspect. Especially if you're a good rider and like real experience, you've been talking to a lot of people online and you finally get to meet them in person. But even if you're not that good, even if you can just ride and like barely do any tricks, the community is so supportive of people. My buddy Ryan Costarella just went. He's a beginner, he can only do a couple tricks, but he left Unicon feeling just as attached to it and everybody was so cool to him. And he always says, man, I just wish I could go back to Unicon.